So tomorrow I will start recording my Fenix definitive video, which will also be by far my biggest axe related project or video. But before I start recording, I think it could be good to talk a little about my axe preferences of sorts. I think that when making a video about a specific maker, which I hold in very high regards, I think it is, it's good to talk about what makes an axe good for my needs and just general preferences. I am kind of new to the axes from Fenix. I got my first one about, I'm not even sure, maybe like 8 or 10 months ago, something like that. Today I have 12 of them, so I guess that speaks volumes too. But before all of that, if we go back 10, 15 years maybe perhaps, then my number one maker was Hultsbruk. I had a ton of axes made by Hultsbruk, few different models, and I used them extensively, especially during autumn and winter. My favorite one was, or one of my favorite ones, was probably the 700 gram version. It's it had quite a thin handle. It wasn't a very heavy axe, but back in the days, I felt like it could do most of the things I wanted an axe to do. So I was a Hultsbruk fanboy of sorts. Then around 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to give another Swedish maker a shot. So I went with the small forest axe from Gränsforsbruk, and I did like it a lot, and I decided to invest in a few other models. So today I do have a bunch of Gränsforsbruk's axes, and after that, and not that long ago to be honest, Hultsbruk, or now Hultafors, came out with a premium line of axes, which I felt like I wanted to invest in, because I did like a lot of the axes from Hultsbruk. So I got myself a couple of premium axes from Hultafors, and I did find them to be nice working tools. But about the same time, or maybe actually a bit earlier than I invested in the Hultafors premium line, I found a Russian maker, a Siberian maker called Toporzyb, which I grew really fond of. I found their work to be, the fit and finish was impeccable, the performance was great, the steel used was very impressive to me, the edge retention, the sharpness, the toughness. It was something that I had not really seen before in my Swedish axes. So I got a few axes from Toporzyb, and I thought to myself that I will never find a maker that would be equally good nor better. But then I also found Fenix, and I wasn't sure what to think about the axes from Fenix from the get-go. I was impressed by the variety of models they put out, but I was also sort of scary as well, because some makers, they focus on very few selected models that I know will, you know, do the job, that are proven designs, etc. And with a, you know, wide variety, I felt like, you know, yeah, I mean, it could be a good thing. I mean, you could really find an axe that speaks to you, but having so many models, I mean, it did make me sort of suspicious, to be honest. But I got my first axe from Fenix, which was the Domovoy 3 Lite, and when I got it, I felt like this was maybe a brand that could compare to Toprosib, and in some ways even excel. Because what I did think when I first saw the axes or the work from Fenix was that the handle designs they were really, you know, different, differently shaped than any other axe handle that I have ever seen from any maker before. And I've got to say that I thought it looked like it would be very ergonomical and very useful handle design. And once I got my Domovoy 3, that pretty much confirmed my initial thoughts. This was a very, very ergonomically perfected handle. I felt like I wanted, you know, to put the handle on my axes from Toprosib, because I really think that Toprosib makes the best axe steel, but that was before I had any real life practical use of an axe from Fenix. So, like I stated, the first one was a Domovoy 3. It's kind of a small axe, but on the heavy side. My second one was a Drovosek 2, which is like 75 centimeters, 2.4 kilos. So I went, you know, with one small axe and one pretty heavy axe. And today I have 12. There are possibly 2 more models that I would like to get my hands on. One of them is kind of tricky to get my hands on, to be honest, but the other one I could probably find. So we will see. Maybe I will get 1 or 2 more during the time that I'm making this video review, because this video review is review special episode, or whatever you want to call it. This is going to be quite a comprehensive video, and it's going to be recorded in lots of segments that I will then put together and have as one long video clip of sorts. So that is where I am today. Tomorrow I am going to start shooting some. We're going to go over all the axes that I have, taking a close look at them, the specs, you know, total length, weight, cutting edge length, etc. We're going to talk about Fenix some more. To be honest, I don't know that much about them. I know they started late 1990, maybe 1998, and I know that the original founder, it's his son that is in charge of the business today in 2020. I kind of wish I would have, you know, found out about Fenix earlier, but better late than never. But I do believe that it is a brand, a maker that should get some more international attention of sorts. I guess they are, you know, like a really big and, you know, successful company in Russia. But I kind of want my viewers here on my channel, especially, to get to see what it's all about. There aren't that many videos on YouTube showing these axes. Not many like tabletop reviews, not many actual performance reviews. So I look forward to show this brand, to show these axes, the fit and finish, the actual performance, and yeah, that is what I want to achieve by making this specific video. And now you know a bit about my axe history, and I could have said it before. I got my first axes from Hultsbrook. I did have some random no-name axes or whatnot. I wasn't that into axes at that time, so things changes. But I do have a pretty extensive experience with a lot of high quality makers, and I also have, I don't know if I will get it this week, maybe I will, but I have an 18 large forest axe on the way, and that is going to be my first experience with that maker. So if I get in time, maybe we can put that axe up against one of the axes from Fenix. But regardless, the axes from Fenix are of the absolute highest quality. The axes from Toprosib are great as well. I mean, they are more than great. They're pretty amazing. And I mean, my axes from Hultafors and Gränsfors are also really good. I feel like I only own axes that are worth owning, tools that I know will work, and they will work the way I want them to. I sometimes thin the herd, sell axes I don't really, like that much for whatever reasons, or I give them to someone who will appreciate it. But right now I do have a ton of axes from Gränsforsbruks, from Toprosib, from Hultafors, from Hultsbrook, and from Fenix. So those are my reference material of sorts. But now it's time to head inside. I'm gonna get some sleep before we start tomorrow. It's raining outside right now. I hope the weather will be slightly better tomorrow, but this is what autumn/winter looks like in Sweden. A lot of rain. But it is what it is. So see you in the next segment of this video. Here we have a table with 12 different Fenix models, and it's time to dive in to the actual specs of these axes. And I do have a way here, so I can put them on the scales and get the exact weight, but that won't be totally necessary, because with each axe that you order, you will get some paperwork, a booklet of sorts with some information about Fenix, the maker, and it's in Russian, so I won't be able to tell you what it says. You can, however, always visit their website and have Google translate it for you and read some about the history. I know that that Fenix started up in like 1998, and that it is the founder's son who is now in charge of production. But with each booklet here, you get some, let's see if you can hold it up in the camera here and see if it's visible. You get some specs on the stamp. This is sort of like a certificate of authenticity, I'd guess. Let's take a look here now if you just want to see lots of, to me, unreadable text. But I have learned to decipher the the specs here. So I guess we can, try to make this a bit systematic now, going through all the different models by weight maybe. Also when you get your axe, when you unbox it, aside from the paperwork, you will also get, I do have 12 of these bags now of adequately sized metal wedges. These work sort of a repair kit. If the handle should come loose, or if you want to rehandle or anything, you can use these. I doubt you will ever have to, but I guess it's nice that they decided to include it. There's 2 with each axe, so I have 24 metal wedges should I ever need one or 24 of them. So let's see, I think I have already sorted these by weight. So maybe we should just like this. Or let's see, maybe it's easier since there are so many of them and since my space is limited. Maybe we can just go with them by one by one like this. So starting off, I think I'm gonna switch the camera a bit so we can get slightly better close-up shots. Give me 1 second here. Let's start with the only hatchet of the bunch, which is also the lightest one of the 12. This is the Starina long version hawk or hatchet. I'm gonna unsheath it for you to take a look at some of the details. I'm gonna do this with every axe we go through. So, reading here from the spec sheet or the booklet, we can see that yes, this is the Starina long version. It weighs 750 grams with a total length of 42.5 centimeters. The cutting length is 100 millimeters. Starina Hawk long version. Moving on to the next one, which is this one. This is the Domoway 3, the light version. I'm gonna unsheath this as well for us to take a look at. So this is what the Domoway 3 looks like. And reading the specs, we see that this one weighs 1.15 kilos with a total length of 38 centimeters and a cutting length there of the blade of 113 millimeters. So Domoway 3. Next one should be the Swedish one, light version. Yep. So this is, I'm gonna have to step back a bit. This is the Swedish one, light. I'm gonna unsheath this as well for you to take a look at. So the specs on this one is total weight of 1.4 kilos with a total length of 52.5 centimeters and a cutting length of 115 millimeters. So Swedish one, light version. So next one should be the Poteos. This is the Poteos. I'm gonna unsheath this for you right away. So let's take a look at the specs of this one. This one has a total weight of 1.65 kilos, a total length of 45.5 centimeters and a cutting edge of 140 millimeters. That is quite a cutting edge and weight on an axe with a handle like this. The Poteos. Let's see, next up should be the Leshy one long. That's not it. This is going to be the Leshy one long. To move even further back now. So this one is 1.7 kilos. So they're getting a bit heavy now. And the total length of this one is 61.5 centimeters. The cutting length of this blade is, I believe, 135 millimeters. Leshy one long. Next up should then be the Leshy 2 long, if I am not totally mistaken, which I am not. So let's see, this one is the Leshy. Wait, did I say Leshy 1? I meant Leshy 2. Leshy 2 long. We just took a look at the Leshy 1, so this is the Leshy 2 long version. So the Leshy 2 has a total weight of 1.8 kilo, a total length of 61.5 centimeters, and a cutting edge length of 140 millimeters. Leshy 2 long. Next one, I think that's gonna be the Swedish one. Could that be it? Yeah, I think it is. So here we have, step back a bit here, the Swedish one. Looks like this. The Swedish one has a total weight of 2.2 kilos. Now we're getting up, in weight quite a lot. So 2.2 kilos, a total length of 61.5 centimeters. So it is as long as the Leshy 1 long and Leshy 2 long. The cutting edge length is 140 millimeters. So Swedish 1. Next up we have the Drovothic 2. That should be this one. Looks like this. Now I really have to move. I think I'm gonna have to remove it. Need more space. So the Drovosek 2. So you can see this is a long axe. This one has a total weight of 2.3 kilos and a total length of 75 millimeters. This is a long axe, kind of heavy as well. And the cutting edge length is 150 millimeters. That is a long cutting edge. Next up, let's see, it should be the Promoslovi. Wait, did I actually make a mistake here? Yeah, I made a mistake. I thought it myself. So after the Drovosek 2 we have the Promoslovi 1, which is this one. And it looks like this. Once again, I'm gonna have to step back a bit here. The specs for the Promoslovi 1 is a total weight of 2.4 kilos with a handle length of 75.5 centimeters and a cutting edge length of 135 millimeters. So that is the Promoslovi 1. Next up, let's see what we have here. Next one is going to be the Drovosek 1, which is this. Once again, I step back here. I'm going to have to do that for the rest of the axes here. This one, I'll sheath it as to begin with, like this. So this one weighs 2.6 kilos. This is a heavy axe and a long axe. It's 74 centimeters in total length, and the cutting edge length here is a whopping 170 millimeters. That is a lot of blade on this one. So, Drovosek 1. 2 more to go. Next up, we have the Promoslovi 2, which is this one. So, this one weighs 2.7 kilos, has a total length of 74 centimeters and a cutting length of 140 millimeters. 2.7 kilos. Now it's starting to, you're starting to get some real weight to it. So last, but definitely not least, we have the Fenix Cruciatel 2. This is something extreme in my opinion. Let me unsheath it for you. So the Cruciatel 2 has a total weight of 3.15 kilos. That is a lot of weight. It has a total length of 74 centimeters and a cutting edge of 160 millimeters. This is by far the heaviest axe that I own out of all my axes. The Cruciatel, which if you translate it to English would be the Crusher. Quite a fitting name, I'd say. So that was all the models currently in my possession. I am waiting for a Podmasteri 2. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that one in time, so I mean, but we can do well without it. We have 12 other axes to look at. I'm thinking about taking a look at some, I mean, as you have noticed by now, or as you have probably noticed, there are some versions that are lightweight, there are some versions that are long, there are some versions that are, you know, 1 and 2, etc. And there is a lot of variety to the axes made by Fenix. If you compare these axes to, or the models available by other makers such as, well, let's say Hultafors or Gränsfors Bruk, or you know, those guys, they don't offer as many different types of models as Fenix do, and for better or worse, maybe. And I also think that some of these models are semi-exclusive for certain shops like Lamnia. Or well, Lamnia is the only shop that sells these axes outside of Russia, so kind of explains it. I'm gonna change the camera angle to a more suitable one. Give me a few seconds. So next up, I want you to take a look at the difference between a 1 and a 2 of a specific model. I have one Lesher 1 and one Lesher 2 long here on the table, and I also have 4 other axes next to the camera. We can start with looking at these two. So let's take a look and try to see what we have here. This one, this is a Lesher 2. A Lesher 2 long. Let's see, let's put it, I can put it down here. So that is a Lesher 2. I can tell that right away. It's very simple. And that means this is going to be the Lesher 1 long here, which it is. This is the Lesher 1 long. So the difference, there can always be slight, you know, variations to cutting edge length, to the weight, to the overall weight. Not so much difference in regards of handle length. But the difference between a 1 and a 2 is that the 1 has a more, more refined, more polished surface here, whereas the 2 has a more, I think that Fenix calls it a more brutal finish, like with forge marks and stuff like that. You can see that. So there is a bit of a difference in that, but that is not the only difference. It is one major, cosmetic difference, but there's also a difference in regards to the shape of the head. Let's see if we can see it here. You see how it goes like this and then down. It's not, I think I want to focus on some other stuff here, so it's not that easy. But you should see that there is a very specific type of design here. Man, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be to show on camera. Can we maybe do like that? Yeah, I don't know. So that is the one. So let's take a look at the Leisure 2 now. There is no, there's no contouring here, whereas it is on the one. So that is also a bit of a difference. And in my experience, the ones tend to be slightly heavier, but that could just be a coincidence, to be honest. But I think it's mostly up to personal preferences, which one you sort of prefer, to be honest. We can take a quick look at some other models as well, since I do have a couple of 1 and 2s. Let's see here. This is the Drovosek. This being the Drovosek 2. It's not gonna fit in the table here now. So where is it? Maybe, yeah. And then we have the one. Once again with the contour shaping here, whereas this one is smooth all the way, no contouring, like on the one. We can also take a look at Promyslovi. So here we have, this is the one. This is the 2. So now you know sort of what the 1 and what the 2 stands for in some regards. Yeah, let's put these away for the time being. We have a late arrival to the party. Fenix axe number 13. This is the Podmasteri 2, also known as the Journeyman 2. As you can see, it is quite a small axe, also quite a light axe. This one, I can take a look at it also, of course. Look at that insane cutting length. It's not bad. Not bad at all. So what we have here is a axe that weighs around 1 kilo. I think it's 1050 grams, but say, yeah, 1 to 1.1 kilos. It has a overall length of 37 centimeters and, especially for its size, an insane cutting length of 122 millimeters. I'm glad I got this one in time to join the others in this ultimate video. It would have been a shame without it. Light nice. I'm probably gonna have this one replace my Hultafors Hulton and my Gränsfarsbruks outdoor axe. It is quite a bit heavier, of course. I would have been satisfied with a cutting edge length of around 90 millimeters, 100 millimeters. 122 is almost a bit excessive, but I do find that design to be useful. So now we got to throw this into the game as well. I have now placed all the axes on this table. I was running out of tables, so it wasn't the easiest thing to fit them here in a good, decent way of sorts. And by now we have also gone through each individual model, taking a look at the exact specs. But now that I have them like this, we might be able to get a better overall understanding of the size differences between the models. So let's take a quick tour again here, starting off with Starina, the Hawk, the long version. Then we have the Domoway 3 Light, the Potios, the Swedish 1 Light. Next up we have the Leshy 1 Long. Then we have the Leshy 2 Long. We have the Promyslovi 1. We have the Promyslovi 2. We have the Drovosek 1. The Drovosek 2. The Swedish 1. And the Crochetel 2 lightweight. But I did get some sort of mix between lightweight and full weight, but I'm gonna call it now the Crochetel 2 light regardless. So these are the models. I will see if I can get a better top view of sorts. Give me a few minutes here and let's see what I can do. So now we have a bit more of a top view of sorts. To make it somewhat easier once again to see the size differences. This is what it looks like. The Crochetel 2 being the absolute largest one of them all, and the Starina being the absolute smallest one by far. So you got a pretty good variety going on here. I just made some space here on the table for our next segment, which is a sharpness test of sorts. I was planning on slicing regular printing paper, but I realized I ran out of it, so now we're gonna go with some semi-thin magazine paper of sorts. It will have to work. I also realized that it started raining slightly here, but regardless, we're gonna do this now because I have everything outside, so might as well go ahead. And I think we're gonna start with the smallest axes, working our way up to the heaviest ones. So first up is the Starina Hawk. I think both axes and paper might be a bit damp. It's also a bit windy, but hopefully we can make something out of it regardless. I hope it's semi-visible paper here. So the Starina Hawk is it's sharp enough for my needs. Let's remove this. Then we move on to the Domoway 3 light. and a new piece of damp paper. Blade is a little bit wet. Oh well, it is sharp enough, but it is a bit damp paper, which does make it slightly harder to cut. Then we go with the Poteos. Which is also sharp enough. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my first segment of this video, but you know, it's always going to be up for debate how sharp an axe needs to be or should be. I want my axes to be quite sharp, to be honest, but I of course want them to have good edge retention and a tough, strong edge as well. An axe that is super sharp but very fragile, well, that's not really what I need. Anyway, next up we have the Swedish 1 lightweight. So I'd say it is also sufficiently sharp. If you do see a difference in sharpness between these axes, that is most likely because some of them I have used more than others, and I have yet to do any sharpening to them. So I mean, there might be some differences between them, but they should all be fairly sharp. I always clean the axes when I've used them. So next up here is the Leshy 1 long. Leshy 1 long, okay. So that one will also do the work. And then we have the Leshy 2 long. So that one is also pretty sharp. And next up, oh, now it's going to be a bit heavier for my arm. So now we have the Przemysłowy 1. And this is going to be good exercise for my wrist. Visible, yeah. So this one is also sufficiently sharp. Place it like that. Moving on to the Przemysłowy 1. So that one is also pretty good, I'd say. Let's move it to the side here a bit. Moving on to the Drovosek 1 with the insane cutting edge length. Hopefully it will cut decent. Yeah, so this one is it's sharp. Next one is going to be a bit interesting, because that is the next one is going to be my Drovosec 2. Here it is, the Drovosec 2, and this is together with the Domoway 3 light. This is my most used axe from Fenix. I've done insanely hard work with this one, and I have yet to really touch it up. I did clean it up, but let's see. If I was to make a guess, I would say that this is the one who's gonna slice maybe not really the best, but we will see. I mean, it might be really sharp still, regardless. So let's see. This is actually quite surprising. Maybe I shouldn't have said that about it being my most used axe. Well, it is, but I thought edge retention wasn't, that insanely good. Moving on, the next one is going to be. Oh man, it's really starting to rain now, so I'm gonna hurry up here. It's gonna be the Swedish one. This is the Swedish one. Oh, it's getting super damp now and wet. I'm not afraid of the axes, but I'm afraid of the camera. So, Swedish one. Super damp paper now, so. Well, this one is also kind of sharp. Nice. Last but definitely not least, the Cruciatel. The Cruciatel 2 light. Let's put it to use on some really damp paper now. Come on. I think that paper was a bit too damp. I mean, it's still sharp, no doubt, but let's go some pages down where it's not so damp or wet. Let's be faster now. Well, it is sharp. I just wanted some perfect slices with it. I'm gonna go one more, then I'm gonna head inside. Oh well, it is, regardless, it is sharp. So let's pack up, let's get inside before the storm reaches my area. Given the fact that we put all my other axes from Fenix through a sharpness test, we should of course do the very same with this newly arrived Podmasteri 2. The small little light monster with an insane cutting edge of 102 millimeters. Would be a shame if it didn't slice nicely. I would be disappointed for sure. So let's put it to a small test like we did with all the other axes here now. Just trying to make sure it's semi-visible in the camera. Hopefully it is. Or maybe it isn't. Let's do like this. Yeah, this should be better. Yeah. Go with one page more perhaps to really make sure it is up to standards. Does seem to be sharp enough for my needs. Yeah. So it is, I deem it to be sharp enough to proceed with all the other tests we are to do. So Podmasteri 2 it will cut. Like I have stated before, I'm not shooting this video in chronological order. I'm making different segments. So I have already done a lot of splitting, but now I want to make smaller pieces of wood here that we can use for feather sticking. So when I did the splitting action, I said that I'm not going to go with my smaller axes doing serious splitting. I am, however, I do feel okay with doing, you know, splitting of pieces like this with my smaller, shorter axes. And I mean, it's not going to be optimal, but just to show the performance, I do feel like it is okay to use the smaller axes to split semi-large chunks of wood here. And I want to make smaller pieces that we can use for feathering. And we're going to use these axes for feather sticking. So in my hand right now I have the Fenix Portillos, which is the largest one of my smallest axes from Fenix. So let's see if we can make this one like a size reference. This is what it looks like. So, I mean, it's not a small piece of wood still, but I do feel okay doing this. But splitting wood, please do use axes with a, you know, a longer handle than this, because this is not optimal in any way, in my opinion. But regardless, I'm gonna do it now. So yeah. Did I remember to put the camera on? Yeah, I did. For a second I thought I forgot it. Let's try another tool. Let's go with the Domoway 3 Light, this one. Much lighter, much smaller than the Portillos that we just used. Guess we could give you just a size difference here. This being the Domoway 3 that we're going to use now. This being the Portillos that we just used. I mean, it's a bit different in size. Anyway, let's go with this light option here. See, let's try another one. Let's try the Starina Hawk instead. Can make a quick comparison of it as well. This being the Starina Hawk compared to the Domaway 3 Lite. So this one is much smaller, much lighter. This I don't feel super comfortable doing this, but let's see what we can do. Probably a bit too light. You can definitely feel that this one, packs much less of a punch. I mean, you do have some extra handle length, but the head is really on the light side on the Starina. Still quite comfortable to use it, though. Which one? We haven't used this one yet. This is the Podmasteri. Podmasteri 2. We can take a quick look, compare it to the Starina Hawk here. So this one is heavier, but it's got a slightly shorter handle. A lot more cutting edge on this one. Two pieces of this. I think I'll go back to using the tortillas for the rest of the pieces here. So just cut them up as quickly as possible. You know, I realized that I am not, I'm not talking that much in this video segment right now. But I also feel the way that I'm letting the tools do a lot of the talking. So they are easy to work with, as I hope can be seen in the video. I'm not quite sure how well it can be seen, but these tools, they are quite nice working with. Maybe I should zoom in on the camera, maybe get a better view of the actual chopping here, or splitting. Now we are a bit more zoomed in, so to say. Well, now we have at least a few pieces of wood that we can probably do some feathers from. So, let's see if we can make some feathers here from the smaller pieces of wood that I just chopped up here. So, not sure how well this will be visible in the camera, but hopefully something can be seen at least. And I started right away here with the potillos that I just used. The larger ones, or the larger one of my smaller axes from Fenix. I mean, I would say that you can make some semi-good feathers here with the potillos. Not bad. Let's try another one. See if I can find a good piece for this one. I'm not sure. Let's try this one. Very thin feathers. Trying to get a bit more oops. Yeah, I mean, we can get some feathers. It's a bit of a mix here in thickness, but it is possible to shave some small, really small feathers off here. Let's see, go for some more maybe. Yeah. Yeah, we get some, you know, some random. A lot of them are falling off, but yeah, it's possible to do some shaving. So that was the Domoway 3 light. Let's see, maybe we can go with the Podmonastery. This being the Podmonastery next. So, just gonna find a good piece for that one as well. Maybe this one. So, let's see what we can do. So here we got some, yeah, some pretty nice feathers actually, in my opinion. Not sure quite how well it can be seen, but we did get yeah, some nice feathers going here. Let's see. We did the Poteos, we did Domaway Light, the Domaway 3 Light. We just did a Podmasteri 2, meaning we have the Starina Hawk last but not least. See if we can find a piece of wood for it as well. I don't know, let's go with this one. It really doesn't matter, it's all the same. Or, well, not quite exactly the same, but all the same type of tree at least. Which is birch, by the way. Not quite sure what I think of this piece of wood that I'm using here. It's not the actual wood itself, but it is the the geometry of the piece of wood that I took here. Maybe this piece will be better. I mean, we did get some feathers here, enough to start a small fire, but we want to show it, you know, in the most, you know, representative way as possible. That is at least what I'm trying to do here. But it's kind of deep. So we did get some. I mean, this is not bad at all. Not sure how well it can be seen in the camera, but we did make enough to start, you know, to get a small fire, going here. So I think I'm gonna do it like this in this video, that I'm not gonna do feathers like this with all of the axes in the same way that I'm not gonna do, you know, real heavy splitting with all of my axes. So this feather part here is about as much feather sticking as you're gonna see. After this, we're gonna go and take a look at how the larger axes perform in heavy splitting. So yep, all these small axes, they will feather with slightly different results, but they all will feather. And next up we have the chopping part, and since I have already made that video segment, I know it's gonna be a lot of fun, so do enjoy that part as well. Over and out. We have sliced some paper, we have done some small feathers, and now we're gonna go into splitting. One thing though, I do not own a dedicated splitting axe from Fenix. I own a lot of different types of axes, but no, you know, pure dedicated splitting axe. Regardless of that fact, we're gonna do some splitting tasks because, well, any axe can split wood. It's just a matter of how well it splits wood, and, you know, not getting the axe stuck too deep or too hard. Then again, the axes we're gonna try now, they aren't, they're not grounded too thinly, so they should still do a pretty decent job. Despite being felling axes, they should do well in splitting. And for splitting, we have some pretty heavy, large pieces of wood here. This is birch. I mean, it is a soft wood, but it still requires some effort to be split, especially in this size. And these are also kind of wet, so they're more kind of heavy. But let's actually, they're not all birch, by the way. I can see this one is probably pine. So we have some pine, some birch. So there is some sort of variation. But let's see what we can do. Oh, and I'm going to say right away that this here, I don't know the word in English, the thing you actually do the splitting on. This one is a bit too high. I made a new one not long ago, but I should have made it at least 5, maybe even 10 centimeters shorter than it is. I could always dig it down into the ground, which I might do because I don't have a chainsaw available right now. I lend it out. So, but regardless, I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to get the full maximum impact due to the fact that this one is too high. Anyways, let's start with this piece of wood here, and we can start with why don't we start with the crusher tail too? I mean, the crusher, which is also the heaviest axe that I own. Not owned by Fenix, but it's the heaviest axe out of all the axes I own, weighing in at 3.1 kilos. So this is a beast. The axes I brought with me now are my 5 largest axes made by Fenix. So I'm not sure which way I should stand. I probably want to stand over here. I'm not sure if I can be seen well in the camera, but the reason why I want to stand up here is the ground is slightly more raised. If I stand here, the impact would be even higher up, and if I stand over here, the impact will be less high up, but still way too high, to be honest. So there are some knots in this piece of wood. Should be like a couple of them, but let's see. And this is not birch, so yeah, let's see what we can do here. Not the best hit, to be honest. The axe, however, did not get stuck, so that's a good thing at least. I mean, it's breaking up pretty nicely though, so yeah. Lots of knots here. So you can see, I'm actually going to show this in the camera because there are a lot of stuff going on in this piece of wood. Maybe we should actually try some birch, which should be a bit softer, although these pieces are all kind of... let's go with this one. Could be interesting. But it is, I mean, as you can see, it's way too high. Would have been a lot better if if the actual impact was a lot lower. I'll see if I can fix that in some sense, because right now the impact is way too high. I'm not sure if it can be seen in the camera, but knots and knots and more knots. But it is what it is. Wood is the way it is. You don't get to pick. So, let's see, it's gonna be hard with the focus as always, but there are some really knotty parts here. It is what it is. But still kind of effortless, to be honest. It doesn't require that much. So I think we're gonna head over to the either the Promislovy one or the Drovosek 1 or 2, or Promislovy 1 or 2, but that was a crushatel, and this one will crush for sure. Let's go with the Drovosek 1 now, I think. I haven't put that one to a lot of use yet, so. Drovosek 1. That is gonna be one knotty hull as well. It is what it is. Too shabby. There's no way I can break it apart. Still like this now. Okay, just smaller pieces. This is where we are right now after 2 blows. Break it to pieces. Fucking nuts. For real. Damn it! I'll show you the issue here. See that? That is what's giving me a slight headache. Not a big issue, but you know, that is why it's not just splitting up. So let's just do a bonus piece. What's this? Not sure what this is. It's a tall piece though. So. Let's try the Promislovy a little. Let's see. Let's try the Promyslovy 2. Maybe I should have gone up like this and shown each axe before actually splitting the woods. Would have been a good idea, probably. But wait. This is actually not the Promyslovy 2. This is the Drovosek 2, my mistake. But I mean, while we're at it, I guess we could try the Drovosek 2 as well. It's just that I don't want to run out of pieces, but let's go with this one. So that was the Drovosek 2. Now we're gonna go with the Promyslovy instead. So this is the Promyslovy 2, which is next up. Try. These pieces are super heavy and super knotty, but I mean it's still good. A bit tall as well. Not super straight either, but yeah, regardless. There we go. I was gonna make a comment before splitting this piece of wood that the Promyslovy probably makes for a better splitting axe than the Drovosek. But the Drovosek I think makes for a better felling axe on the other hand. So it's all in your, you know, preferences and what you're gonna use the axe for, of course. So that. It really feels way off, you know, when you split with this, you know, tall pieces on a already tall platform, you know. What can you do? I am gonna dig this one into the ground, lower it about 10 centimeters perhaps. I think that'd be good. Maybe I should try this other piece of wood here that is probably not as splitting friendly as the birch. Then again, a bit less knots, so well, there's a giant knot in it, but still. Yeah, whatever, let's go with this one as well. It's an interesting experiment. Oh. Interesting. Yeah. Like I said, I had a feeling this one would make for a semi-good splitting axe. And I'm starting to feel I was right about that. So which axe have we yet to put to use? The Promyslovi 1, I guess. Slightly lighter than the Promyslovi 2 and with the more distinct grinds here. Well, there's one piece left here. That's a heavy piece actually. Come on now, Promyslovi 1. Maybe this is actually a better splitting design, the 1 compared to the 2. But the 2 is heavier, so that speaks in its favor. Regardless, let's see what we can accomplish. So, I think that out of the axes we have tried right now, I didn't do a lot of work with the Crocodile 2 here, but I think that the Promyslovi models are probably the best ones for pure splitting, but I doubt they will be as good as the Drovo 6 or the Crocodile 2 at felling. But for splitting, yeah, they're great axes for splitting, no doubt. I'm gonna pick this up, store it in the woodshed here, and then I might go ahead and take out a few a lot larger pieces of wood. I wasn't sure I was gonna do some splitting with those pieces today, but now that we are already, in it, why not take it to the max, I guess. So give me a few minutes and I will set everything up here again. Yeah. I have now brought out pieces of wood here that are from, I'd say, 3 times up to 5 times the size of the largest pieces we did previously. I do have even larger pieces of wood, but usually I would have only split them using a dedicated splitting axe. Regardless, let's see what we can do with these pieces. I'm gonna start where we ended with the Promyslovi 1, which did pretty good with those other pieces of wood. These, however, are, I'm not sure it's visible on the camera, but these are large pieces of wood. Heavy, wet, I don't know, let's see. I would have preferred using a splitting axe or a sledge splitting axe or something like that. But this is what we have right now, so I think this can be interesting, to be honest. Well, that was actually kind of interesting. Not many knots here, as you can see, but still fairly impressive work. Good job, Promyslovi 1. Good job. That was not bad at all. I'm actually impressed. Great job. Really good job. So what do we do next? Maybe I should actually... Yeah, maybe, give me 1 second there. I mean, I might be testing my luck now, but here is a really large piece of wood. Let's see what we can do with this one. I will let the Promyslovi one shine some more, potentially. And it's almost wider than the base it's standing on. So, Promyslovi 1. Let's go. Holy... Yeah, this is... Well, I think this is fairly impressive, to be honest. Let's. I'm gonna save these pieces and let the Promyslovi 2 have a go at it. Let's see, Promyslovi 2. Yeah, this is it. Man, these Promyslovis are... they are splitting beasts, to be honest. I think it's impressive. I'm impressed. Come on, it's pretty much. Well, there's your problem. That is why I was sticking. Like I said, we're gonna save these. I mean, these pieces are still not small pieces, but we're gonna save them for the smaller axes to do some chopping. So I think it's safe to conclude that the Promyslovi models are pretty excellent splitters. There's just no doubt about it. Let's, I want to try the cruciatel. I want to go with a large piece for it. So now we're going Cruciatel 2, 3.1 kilos. This is my largest axe from Fenix. I'm not saying it is the best splitting axe. Then again, it is kind of, you know, thick wide, not the thinnest grind to be honest. So it should be a decent splitter in my opinion. But let's try it now on this excessively large piece of wood. I mean, the Promise Novice, they have been doing a pretty damn terrific job here, so I feel the pressure now for this axe to perform well. But I have never stated that this is going to be the best splitter. I've never said that. So. But it is half a kilo heavier than all other axes, and that should, you know, or well, almost half a kilo heavier than all the other axes, and that should make for a difference. Yeah. This is good stuff. I mean, this is a large chunk of wood. And like I said, these are not dedicated splitters. There are some knots going on here. Not too much though. But like I said, let's save these pieces for later. So the Cruciatel 2, lightweight. Still, I don't think there is much light about this one, but it is the lightweight version, regardless. Are we recording? Yeah, we are still recording. Great. So let's head over to the Drovosek versions. Start with the Drovosek 1. So this one has, I mean, it has been splitting, but so far it's not the best splitter. But I'm gonna say again that this one is probably gonna prove to be the better felling axe. That is my that is what I think, at least. Can never be totally sure, but that is what I think. So it's gonna get a large piece here as well, much like the others. And we'll see. Drovosek 1. Robosec 1, the redemption, perhaps. This is more like it. I will say that in general, generally speaking, I do think that that the ones compared to the twos, the ones with this type of contour, geometry, or whatever you're gonna call it, might be better suited for splitting, perhaps. That is my, impression of sorts. Let's go with the Robosec 2 now. And I will say that about the Robosec 2 here, it is the lightest one of the bunch. So it has that speaking against it of sorts. Still not a light axe by any means. Not at all. That might be it for the splitting part. All of them are great splitters, as you can see. They all perform excellent in my opinion. I will see if I can dig out some even bigger, heavier, larger pieces, but I'm not quite sure, but I'll see if I can find one. Otherwise we're gonna start trying the smaller axes for splitting tasks as well. So I did manage to find this piece of wood here, which is quite a large piece, and I'm gonna go ahead with the Cruciatel 2 lightweight because, well, I think it's fun using that axe. So Cruciatel 2 it is. Oh man. Nice crack, but this one I cannot break open, I think, from that crack. There are some nuts in there. So I think that concludes the heavy hitters from Fenix. All in all, I am very impressed with the performance. Now we can take a look at the little brothers of these axes, see what they can accomplish. We are back again, and as I stated in the previous segment, we're now gonna go with the slightly smaller blades, or well, a lot lighter axes, to be honest. And we're gonna use these pieces that we cut up from the larger wood pieces using the heavy hitters. So I'm gonna start this one off with using the Swedish one, the regular Swedish one. Looks like this. About 10 centimeters shorter handle than all the other handles on the axes we used in the previous segment, and also, well, I mean, this is still over 2 kilos in weight, so it should, pack quite a decent punch, to be honest. So let's go with this this semi-large piece here to begin with, perhaps. Here are some nuts, but I don't really care right now. Maybe we should actually try. I mean, this is a large heavy hitter as well, so I think we should be able to go with a thick piece for it as well. So once again, this is a fairly large and heavy piece of wood. I can say right away that I really prefer longer handles when doing splitting and when doing felling. So I mean, it's not that it's not gonna perform, but I just prefer it. So that's my personal preferences. I've got some really good cracks. I could perhaps, I mean, the crack is going all the way here. I'm actually gonna show it to the camera. So focus is super difficult, but I'm not sure you can see, but there is a crack going right through the entire log here, starting here and going all the way down. I'm gonna try one of these. I mean, it's semi-close that I can kind of push it open, but that is better. Now we can. So this part down here is what made it stick together. So maybe we should let another axe get a turn at this piece. So let's go with the lesser one long. Now we're getting, this is about the same handle length, slightly longer, about the same handle length as the Swedish one we just used, but this one is a lot lighter. Now we're really getting into the light alternatives. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The blade shape, as you can see here, or maybe you couldn't see it, but this has the same type of, you know, general blade design as the Drovosek. So, but the Drovosek did do well after all in the previous segment. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we got a good crack once again, going all the way down, all the way down here. I'm not sure I can, you know, push it open just from that. I think maybe not. I'm not gonna do it, but I feel right away that this is indeed a lighter option. It's very obvious to me. It will still, you know, cut it in half, but boy, is it noticeable how much lighter this axe is compared to the others. There's got to be some knots going on here, otherwise it would have been able to be pushed open. Damn it, this annoys me a bit. There's a nut. I'm gonna turn this the other side around like that, and hopefully slice that nut in half. Holy hell, yeah, there's your problem. Yeah, so this, I understand this proved a bit of a challenge. Take a look at this. I'm not sure how well this can be seen, but there's a nutty area going all the way here. This was a tough piece to crack open. I feel sorry for the for this lesser one long. I'm gonna give it a better piece perhaps. See if I have some. Oh, well, I do have a lot of pieces out here as well, but this is pushing my luck, I think, a little. I'm not sure how many knots there is in this piece, and I mean this is a large piece, especially for this, you know, light of an axe. But just to give it a chance of redemption, we can see what it can do with this piece. Or it could just fail miserably. But I wanted to get a chance to show its potential capabilities of sorts. And that is what I was hoping for. Redemption. Because that last piece was no joke. So let's split these up now. Redemption. So next up we have the Leshy 2. Leshy 2 long with a more non-contoured, just, you know, no special, you know, geometry to the grind here or anything. So go with this. Oh man, maybe not. That's a bit mean to go with a piece like that. This one is also not very nice. Some knots going on in part of this piece of wood. Maybe we can actually find something not too large, but not too small either. Let's try this one. This is definitely from another tree because it got some really extreme is it called bark? What's it called? Whatever. Let's just try this one out. You know what? I think this might be a mistake, to be honest. But yeah. Yeah, this is definitely another type of, or not another type of tree, but another tree, this piece. How much of a crack did we get here? Semi-much. Yeah, this is, it's kind of mean of me to put this one into this. I mean, we have gotten some cracks going here, but this one, I'm gonna show you guys how this one looks like. It's also kind of heavy, but once again, it's difficult with the focus and stuff. Yeah. But I had a feeling this one would be kind of tricky. Makes me wish I had my Crusher Tell 2 or Promislovi 1 here. But we have started this, so I'm gonna finish it one way or another. But boy, is this one an annoying piece of wood. Damn. Yeah, can't wait to see what this one looks on the inside. Let's take this over like this. Fucking hell. This one is interesting for sure. No, there's no chance in hell. Ah, where's the Promislovi 1 and Crusher Tell 2 when you need them? Oh, come on. God damn it, it's so close. I'm gonna destroy this piece of wood. God damn! I knew it! This is freaking insane. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super tempted to go inside and grab my biggest axes and then just utterly destroy this piece. Holy hell! Still won't give up. I'm gonna make you give up. Yeah, that took a bit more effort than I would have liked it to do. You can see the grain orientation and knots and everything compared to the other pieces here. This one was a real piece of work. Or left it too. I have to give it some redemption as well. Not a large piece, but still, I mean, I don't know what people, you know, split the most in their homes for the firewood and stuff like that, but this is probably not far from, you know, what people generally split. I don't know. A reasonable size, I'd say. Okay, Leslie.
We can do this. Of course we can. Yeah, there were some nuts as well, but still not, you know, impossible to break open. So what do we have left? Well, I do have a lot of small axes left, but I'm not going to do splitting with them like that. But here we have the smallest and lightest axe of these ones. This is the Swedish one light. Short handle, light head, sharp edge, hopefully. Well, I know it's a sharp edge because we did the sharpness test, but I mean, there's no mistaking that. Let's go with some of these pieces to begin with. I need to cut them up anyways. So. Now you really get, you know, this is me personally. I don't really feel comfortable doing, you know, pure splitting with an axe with a blade with a handle shorter than this. Of course it can be done. It can be done in different ways, but if I'm gonna stand here and show you know, me doing splitting, I'm not gonna use axes that I don't feel totally comfortable doing that with. Of course you can split with a handle length of 35 centimeters and a head weight of, I don't know, 500 grams up to 1 kilo, or, you know, I have axes that are 38 centimeters with a total weight of up to like 1.3 kilos, I think. Of course they have the weight to do splitting, of course, but I don't think it's, you know, really that comfortable splitting with that short of a handle. Splitting this way at least. Regardless, Swedish one light. Once again, some random knots here going on. So I think that kind of concludes the chopping with these medium-sized axes. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna take this one. Just because. So this is, I don't know, semi-large size. Not birch. I'm not sure what tree type this is. Got some good cracks going on right away. will conclude the chopping, I think, right now, or the splitting. Yep. Off to some other tasks. I'm now in a part of the woods, land that is owned by a friend of mine, where they are doing a lot of wood processing, and where I am allowed to help take down a few trees. But I'm only going to use my Drovosek 1 today for these felling tasks. So let's see what we can do. Today we're gonna take down this birch behind me. As I just showed you, I am in the woods owned by my friend, and he is already doing a lot of wood processing. He's using a chainsaw, I'm using an axe, however. So let's see if we can take down this birch with ease using this Drovosek 1. See if I might have to adjust the camera angle, perhaps, or if this will be visible in a good way. Perhaps it will. I think so. Lots of stuff around the ground, so I want to be semi-careful not to fall and hurt myself. Yeah. That is seriously one hell of a bite. You know what? I'm gonna have to to bring the camera up here and show you just how this axe bit into the woods. So first strike. You know, for felling trees, it is actually a, let's see if we can get a focus better here. It is actually a fairly thick, you know, a fairly thick grind. But even so, it did bite quite well into the wood, as can be seen here. Really nice clean cut. Yep, let's put it back on the tripod and continue with the felling process. So the first bite was quite successful. It went deep in. This is really good. Super clean cut. Maybe we should actually take a look at that cut, to be honest. Give me a second again. So this is from the absolute first cut. I decided to change the camera angle completely. I think this will work even better. So let's proceed. Slowly but surely. So that was the birch. Quite easy work, to be honest. Somehow, let's see if I focus. As I said before, this is the Drosac 1. The Drosac 2 has none of this contour profiling. Regardless, it has a thick grind. This is a pretty thick grind for a felling axe. Even so, it cuts extremely deep. It is a sharp axe, we already know that. I already know that. And it will take down trees with ease. Now, this is softwoods. I know, I live in Europe. We have a lot of softwoods, and this was birch. I will see if we can find some other types of tree, maybe pine, fir. Take that down. But for taking down softwoods, there's no question, this axe will perform really, really well. And it does have a lot of weight on it. I mean, this one is over 2 kilos, so it's gonna pack, you know, quite a punch, which is a great help. Would it be an even better felling axe with a slightly thinner grind to it? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, it would be lighter, it would probably, you know, maybe cut a bit deeper, but regardless, it does a fantastic job taking down trees, as is. I will see if we can find some other trees, or maybe we can do some debranching in between. Yeah. Here we have a pretty good sized fir. We can try to work a bit with. Should be slightly tougher than, you know, your regular birch. So, let's see if we can throw away some of these fallen, maybe not. Hopefully this is semi-visible in the camera, so let's see. Bit tougher than birch, but still some really nice clean cuts here. Hopefully, we're checking the camera if it's somewhat visible. Yeah, it looks like it is. Semi-visible at least. Oops. You know what, I think we're gonna take the camera here again, see what we have done with the few strikes we've hit the tree with so far. Give me a second here. It's gonna be a bit of, you know, running back and forth again. Hopefully not too much, but a bit. So this is where we are right now. I'll try to get some better focus here. I mean, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. Yeah, let's put the camera back on the tripod again. And we will continue to take this tree completely down. Yeah. Once again, it performed really well. And despite being so heavy, I'm not really super exhausted. But maybe we should take a look closer at the tree, how the cuts look like a bit. So you can see, like, this is where we did a cut. This is where the fibers were, and when it, when it broke off due to the cutting here on the back side. Not too bad. Now we can do some debranching here with the leftovers. Maybe cut this up in several pieces as well. I think that's gonna be our next step, to be honest. Before we do some delimbing or branching, we can try to cut this, just cut in half. So many things to trip on here. Pretty good chunks we're getting off here. It's not too bad, you know, this being the first one. Let's take a look here. Yeah, some pretty good. Yeah, pretty clean cuts. Not too shabby at all, in my opinion. It's not too bad, you know. Not too bad. So when we took down this tree, there were a lot of small twigs and stuff on it. So we're gonna do some branching here now. Nice clean cuts. Not a lot of force needed here for some of these. Maybe we should move the camera a bit further. Nice when you get like 4 of them in the same stroke, and all with nice clean cuts like this. See if it's Actually, we got 5 in the last stroke. This one is, yeah, it's hanging by a thread. Best angle to work with. Once again, you know, really nice clean cuts here. Is it even visible in the camera? Yeah, perhaps not. I don't know for sure. Man, it's like a razor. Insane. Seriously insane. Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff. Let's take a look. Probably the smoothest branching I've done with any axe, to be honest. You know, there is a reason why I like my axes from Fenix a lot. There is a reason. Yeah. As a final test with this axe, I want to see if we can shave some of the bark of this tree. That's gonna be a problem. I want to do it though. Well, give me 1 second, just. I'm not, going full strength here because I want this tree to fall down in the right direction. So that's slightly better. Let's see where we can begin. Maybe around here. Not too bad. Not too bad, to be honest. So I think this segment or this video part is going to conclude this this definitive video about the axes from Fenix. I was originally planning on making, you know, felling videos or a felling segment, much as like I did with the splitting, that I use pretty much every axe I own to show their splitting capabilities. But taking with me all of my large splitting axes into the forest and doing videos like this, that's gonna take forever. So I think that, you know, this is what you will get in this video. I think I will maybe name this video part 1 and make a part 2 where I, you know, over time compile all my felling axes into one video where I do this sort of stuff with each and every model. But doing that right now is just, it's gonna take too much time, and I really want to get this video up before, you know, before winter really starts. I mean, we're in the first week of December now, and a lot of people need to get their hands on an axe during this time of the year. And I will say that what you have seen here with the Drovosek 1 is kind of representative for you know, the overall performance of Fenix felling axes, regardless of if the axe is called Drovosek or if it's called Leshy or Cruciatel or Promislovi or Swedish 1 or 2, etc. So I mean, it's this is the kind of quality you will get and the performance you can expect. But I still want to make I will name this video part 1, and then in the future, sometime I will make a part 2. I was originally also planning on doing a bit of comparisons, you know, putting, for example, this Drovosek 1 up against the Auteen Tools large forest axe, etc. But I think I'm gonna make dedicated videos like that, you know, specific comparison videos, and also videos specific to different models. And I think that the next Fenix video I'm going to make will be the Starina long version, the Hawk or hatchet from Fenix. But I hope you have, you know, enjoyed this quite lengthy video about the axes from Fenix. You have at least seen a few different things. You know, you have seen slicing, feathering, splitting, felling, chopping, shaving, etc. So I mean, you should have, you know, a bit, you know, well, a better picture of what to expect. I mean, there are not many videos at all here on YouTube showing these axes, especially not this type of variety that I have now shown, and also the actual performance of the different axes. So this is probably it, I guess. I wasn't, you know, planning on the video to end like this to begin with, but you know, the way things turned out, this is the ending we will get. My absolute final words will be that the axes from Fenix are, in my opinion, among the very best in the world. Are they better than the axes from Toporsib? Well, it's going to be up to personal preferences to some extent. You know, preferences in terms of steel, handle, design, weight, etc. Fenix does for sure offer a lot more variety than what Toporsib does, but like I said, it's going to be personal preferences. I
I love both makers, absolutely. Right now I am using my axes from Fenix more, so I guess that I am sort of partial to Fenix right now, to be honest. I do absolutely prefer the handle ergos on Fenix over Toporsib. And if I got to choose, you know, my Otin axe versus this, that's also a tough pick, because I only have experience with one axe from Otin Tools, and I love that axe because it has great ergos, great length of the handle, great blade design, you know, grinds, etc. Performs excellent, but I only have one axe, and that is a great axe. Which one would I pick between that one and this one, for example? Well, it depends. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I guess I mean they're quite different in designs, you know, of the actual head and stuff like that, and especially, you know, the thickness and everything. But it's going to be a toss-up in actual performance, I guess. So I mean, right now my three favorite brands, I would say that they are Fenix, Toporsib, and Otin Tools, but I only have experience with one of their axes. Do I think that Fenix is a better option than Gränsforsbruk or Hultafors, Wetterlings, Hultsbruk, etc.? I mean, I'm from Sweden myself. I'm sitting here in Sweden now, and you know, once again, they are, you know, very differently priced, very different, you know, ergos, very different designs overall. The axes from Gränsforsbruk and Hultafors, Hultsbruk, Wetterlings, etc., they are all really good axes. I have a lot of them, and I wouldn't, you know, want to lose them or give them away. But do I prefer the axes from Fenix over the axes from the makers I just mentioned? Yeah, I would. I only kind of wish that Fenix made a couple of more, you know, lightweight options, because most of the axes from Fenix are heavy hitters, especially when you want, you know, this kind of handle length, like at least like 65 to 75 centimeters. You're gonna get a pretty heavy axe. So I mean, that's something you will have to take into consideration if you go Fenix. But if you do decide to go Fenix, you will get axes that will perform incredibly well. Incredibly well. I highly recommend this brand, you know. If you want to put them on the wall, like just a wall hanger, like a beautiful piece of functional art to look at, be my guest. I mean, we will do that just fine. But if you want to put it to actual use too, then you will get what you pay for. You will get an extremely great user of an axe. No doubt. Over and out.